So I've been asked to explain something about a magazine feature that has shown up on the internet that showed myself and Bill Melton. I only showed this much. And I thought you'd like to know about the rest of the story. I want to see the whole picture. The whole picture has Wilbur Wood down here. Back in 1972, I was contacted by Genevieve Buck, who was the fashion editor for the Chicago Tribune, and she said she wanted to do a feature about clothing for summer, and I might be a good subject because I was beginning to gain some recognition. It was 1972, and I was moved from the center field bleachers to behind home plate thanks to Harry Carey. People get to know the name, and she thought I'd be a good subject to model some clothing. So I said, sure, I'd be excited to do that. We went to Saks Fifth Avenue, and she picked out some clothes for me to wear, things that I didn't typically wear. And when I showed up at Victor Skrebneski's studio in Chicago, lo and behold, I guess she had contacted the White Sox, and they provided a couple players for me to pose with, and it happened to be Bill Melton and Wilbur Wood. So I just did whatever the photographer asked, and just thought it was going to be for some kind of a small story in the Tribune. But as it turned out, before the feature came out, I understood that Wilbur Wood had written a memo to my boss, who was Stu Holcomb at the time, saying that the pictures that were snapped at this photo op were perhaps not suitable for baseball. They weren't appropriate for viewing because it gave a bad image for baseball. And so when Stu asked me about it, I said, well, I just did what they asked. And then Stu must have asked Genevieve Buck, and she said, believe me, it's a wholesome article about your organist and some players, and we're just showing some clothing. So lo and behold, Saturday night, got a hold of the Chicago Tribune, and I saw that it was on the cover of the magazine for the next day. And so this is what Wilbur objected to. But it wasn't just this. There's another picture that most people haven't seen, and it was the centerfold of this magazine. I'm going to show it to you now. Maybe this is what he didn't like. But they were kind of whipping me around, and I was having a good time and just doing whatever they said to do. And that's the rest of the story. Wilbur, Bill, and me. There you go. Thanks.